Thank you for attending today's press conference. We're here joined by midfielder Cole Bassett, who will start off with his general thoughts, and we'll open up to questions. Cole?
A tough game. They're a really good team. I was talking to some of those guys after. They do really well. Really good ideas that they've gotten. They're tough to defend, but we tried to use that to our advantage and create transition moments, and we created a fair amount. We should have probably had 4 or 5 goals. So yeah, it was a good night for us. I think we played pretty exciting football for our fans, and it was a good game overall.
Hi, Cole. Keith Richards, Team MBS Media. You get your first, I think it's your first assist on the season. How did you feel about your performance tonight? It feels like sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating. Do you feel like you played well tonight, and has it been kind of rewarding?
Yeah, it was better being higher up the pitch tonight. I think a lot of the season I've been in that double pivot, and that's where I played most of last year. But I don't feel like I've been able to get forward as much as I did last year, and I wasn't affecting games in the attacking third, which for me I think are where my best qualities are at. And tonight, I was able to create a few chances, get the assist for Rafa's goal, and then, I probably should have scored one myself. So that's where I like to be, in front of goal and creating chances. So overall, I think it was a good night and something to build on. But for us, I think we've talked about it as a team, and even for myself, there's been, a good game and then a bad game the next game. I think we need that level of consistency to stay up high and produce at least a 7 out of 10 every single week.
I go Pat Radigan, footy at 5280. There's a lot of ways to win games. You can smash and grab, you can do different things, but every time they threw a punch, you guys had a counter punch. You guys were able to obviously the goal comes at the end, but you're able to hold them out for a while. Just how important is it not just to get a couple goals and win a game, or to hold a team and get a shutout, win a game, but just say, hey, when we need to make plays, whether it's offense, defense, midfield, all over the field, we can make the plays to win these kind of games.
Yeah, we always talk about as a team, we don't just get one, we get the next. And even if something happens, I think we're in the mindset now, and we've been through so many different experiences in the last year or so with Chris as our coach, that we don't really ever feel any pressure in a sense when they get a goal. It's more so how do we respond, like you're saying. So it's on to the next one. But we know that for us, if we want to win games, we got to get the first, get the second, get the third, and kill off a game. And I think that third goal for me kind of kills off the game. Obviously, they have the late goal at the end and kind of push for another one. But, when you're up by 2 goals at home, it's pretty tough for another team to come back. So that's our mentality. We don't ever want to just get one and sit in. I think for us, it's kind of keep the foot on the gas and just continue to go.
Darren Yappy got his first start of the season, got a goal, drew the penalty. What do you think about his performance and what's been limited opportunities for him to get on the pitch so far this season?
He was very good tonight. His hold-up play in a few moments, he had a couple chances where he sprung counters for us. I think it's huge, especially for me and Georgie, to have 2 target forwards that can kind of lay the ball off to us and then allow us to create and get them chances in on goal. The first penalty, starts from his press, and we're able to find him again in the box, and he draws it. Obviously gets the goal. It's a poacher's goal, but I think any guy will take that any single day, and it's good for him. It's good for his confidence, and I think it provides us another option up top, because obviously Rafa's had to play a lot of minutes, and sometimes it's nice for him to relieve the pressure off of him when he's kind of got a strike partner up top that takes a little bit of the focus off of him.
Hey, Cole. Good evening. Mike Lyle, KUNC Radio. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Even though this is their first year in the league, what makes the San Diego team so tough, even though you guys pull it out? But what was it they did tonight that just made you guys had to, kind of sweat a little bit there at the end?
Their ideas with the ball. I think they're a very well-coached team. They've got fluidity in their movement, and they kind of know the timing of when they want to lure you in, and then kind of release the bow and arrow in a sense, in terms of once they break that press, they go, and they do a really good job of that. For me, that Turk Skov or number 6 in their midfield, he's a top player for them. I think he's a really good player. So he kind of dictates the game, and they've got a lot of good players up top as well that can kind of create moments. But for me, it's just in possession. They have so many good ideas, and I think for me, they've been a big surprise this season. I didn't honestly think they would be where they're at, and they've been very good and very fun to watch.
Pollard, Burgundy Wave, Cole. Sorry, we were talking to Jasper. Really intense game from you, another one from Yappy, and I think all the intensity that maybe was missing from last week was here tonight. Talk about maybe the impetus from the coaching staff midweek, and then also the performance and the execution and follow through on that. Thank you.
Last week wasn't us. I think for everybody watching at home, it was probably a pretty boring game, and for us, we felt just out of it. We were never getting pressure on the ball. We weren't creating chances. we weren't playing the football that we like to play, which is aggressive and going at teams. That's not just with the ball, but without the ball. We weren't really doing too much to Vancouver, and credit to them. They've done really well this year. But I think tonight we kind of knew that we needed a response similar to how we did in Charlotte. I think now I said earlier, but we got to continue to build on these and kind of have a level of consistency. We can't just, have one good game and then drop the next game. I think we need to set the standard, and every single game needs to be like this, where the intensity for me is something that you can control, and that's got to be one of the things that we step into every single match day with.
Brain Nurse with Denver Post. I'm not sure if this has been asked yet, but maybe some frustrating nights, some frustrating moments for you this season so far. Just what does a night like tonight do, not only for what you did defensively, but also to be rewarded with an assist? Just what does that do for your confidence going forward?
Yeah, it was better being higher up the pitch tonight. I think for me it was a lot of moments this year I was kind of stuck in that double pivot, and I was so focused on dictating the game for the team and kind of being the one to drive the team forward. But for me, I think I'm at my best when I'm around the goal and creating chances for teammates and for myself. So it's good to get higher up the pitch again and kind of have that freedom where, I don't have to always stay in the middle of the field and, worry about rest defense and stuff like that. It was really just when I found moments to go, kind of create something out of nothing. And I think that's what I'm best at. So it was good to finally get back up in that position. And the coaches kind of harped that to me. We had a similar sort of conversation, and I did with Porg as well. They're like, you don't have to score all the goals in the next game. You don't have to, put so much pressure on your shoulders every single week to be a 10 out of 10. You just kind of consistently go throughout the season and let the game find you, and you'll make things happen. So I was a lot happier tonight.
Cole, this is 2 back-to-back home wins against top-ranking, difficult teams. What is this going to do for the team's confidence here to set the tone for the rest of the season?
We didn't like the way that we started off the season at home. I think the 3-3 game versus Dallas, we thought we played well, but that's one that we should win. And then losing that game to Portland was a big blow for us, and I think it kind of woke us up in a sense. And these last 2 games at home, I think, have been a lot better in terms of how we want to play at home and what we want to give the fans. I think every single time we have people come out here, we want them to enjoy it, and we want them to be entertained. And I think these last 2 games, we've gotten better at that and kind of gotten back to our style of anytime a top team comes in here, we don't want them to walk away with any points. So I think it's good by the group, and we need to continue this throughout the season.
We'll pause there and be back.
Thank you, guys.
We're back with head coach Chris Armas. We'll go ahead and start off with his general thoughts and open it up to questions. Chris?
Yeah, it's a really, really good win at home for us in front of our fans. I think the team responded and had a good reaction after the last game in Vancouver is what we wanted. And we're looking for consistency as a team. We see how good we can be in moments, and certainly in our building. And that's always a challenge for a team and individuals, all of us, to just how consistently good can we be. It was nice to see that tonight. I think the players gave the fans what they came to see. You know, attacking football, energetic football, in possession, we're vertical, pressing, running, scoring goals. This is how we want this to look. And, I give the boys a lot of credit. Yappy, gave us a good look tonight with the two strikers. I was happy that he gets a goal. Georgie gets one. Cheeto gets his first assist for the club. Who else scored here? Then we had another goal scorer. Rafa. It was a really nice build, a nice combination play there. But I think it was a good collective team effort in front of our fans, and we'll look to build on it.
Brain Nurse with the Denver Post. Like you said, Darren Yappy gets a start in like a fluid 4-4-2, I guess you would call it, with Hoffa up top. He plays probably his best game in a Rapids jersey. All around, just what kind of stood out to you most about what
for Yappy?
Yeah.
We defensively looks 4-4-2. Braden, 4-2-4 at times, but with the ball in possession, with Georgie and Cole underneath, maybe 4-2-2-2. We thought that an area that we can maybe get after San Diego, if we could take away certain spaces and create transition, that the two strikers could cause some trouble. And they're a good team in possession. They're a good team overall. But we thought we could maybe create some noise with the two strikers, help us be a little bit more vertical and energetic even in our pressing. And Yappy, I think, clearly helped in this way. Oftentimes Hoffa's by himself in lots of moments, but Yappy took some pressure off, and I think both of those guys had a really good game. But it takes all those guys and their reserves to come on. It was a good complete from all the guys, a big effort. We knew we had some guys that might be limited on the night. Reggie Cannon coming back from injury, but precautionary stuff there only. Sam Vine's the same. So yeah, but happy for Yappy for sure.
Hi, Keith Richards, Team MBS Media. Happy for Yappy. That's a good bar, by the way. But Cole Bassett had another great performance tonight as well. Probably one of his best of the season. What did you notice from him tonight that may have been different from previous matches, that something just finally clicked for him tonight?
Well, in the spaces that San Diego might give us, sometimes in those pockets where Cole was operating, we thought tonight's role for him would put him in a space that he could play more free and have some vertical options in front of him with the two strikers. So with him and Georgie side by side in those pockets ahead of our sixes, behind our strikers, it's more of a free role, which Cole thrives in. So you saw he, in the first half, especially in transition moments, even the second half, where he's picking up balls, creating transition moments, driving with the ball, almost scored, took some different shots from different spots, but he was really active on the night. So good to see from him. I think that type of behavior and energy, it's contagious throughout our team, and I thought that's started in many ways with him.
Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Chris, Ted Pietro makes his debut for the club, and 1 week after being off the availability report, could have scored a goal, was really energetic. Your thoughts on his performance, and what can fans expect from him as a player? Thank you.
Yeah, look, he brought energy into the game at that stage. We take off Cole, bring in Koo, just to bring some fresh legs and another energetic guy to replace an energetic guy. We thought that there'd be another goal out there for us with some fresh legs, and with Koo, what you can expect from him is a very dynamic vertical player, an attacker that likes to run with the ball at his feet. He's a guy that I say makes things happen. You can see even in a short time in training, he makes things happen. He's fearless. he's aggressive, and he's powerful. So we're going to keep getting him going, and it was good that he got some minutes tonight, part of the win.
Pat Radigan footy at 5280. Obviously, with a different look for Georgie tonight and just kind of the way the game played, it wasn't the same game we've seen from him, but the way he pops up and makes that run over the top when he sees the spaces there, the way he finds that pocket in the middle, how important is it to have a playmaker like that where whether or not he's on the ball as much, whether or not he has as much space, he knows where to be, he knows when to make that runs, and pretty much every touch that he makes in that third can lead to a goal.
Yeah, listen, I think it's good observation with Georgie. In this system, the 4-2-2-2, it's not a system that's going to be heavily built for possession and how many touches can a guy get. So I told him even before the game that it might not be a night you get so many touches on the ball, but you'll find it in really interesting spots and in moments that anytime you do, it's game on, and maybe there's something coming with the two strikers, with Cole, and even when it's on the opposite side, he's going to find himself in finishing positions in that system. So, yeah, listen, it takes a lot of work from those two tens, call it, Georgie and Cole, even defensively, a lot of work from them. But it was a good look. I mean, we hadn't repped that before, so we thought, and I thought it was worth taking the quote unquote risk. It's not, we defend in the same shape, but it is for good reasons. We thought to give it a shot, and I thought it was something for us to consider again.
Hey, Coach. Good evening. Mike Lau, KUNC Radio. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
I know this is their first year in the league, but what does it say about the San Diego team that they're so scrappy and they made you guys sweat a little bit at the end, that you had that nice little cushion in the second half?
Yeah, they made it interesting. Even right after halftime, as a Delatore, girls went up into the upper corner. Listen, they're nearly unbeatable this year. They're a good team, and with an expansion team, it's you see some teams in MLS that run cycles. Maybe sometimes it's older players. They need fresh. When you're an expansion team, imagine each guy's hand-selected for the positions. They have certain monies to spend to build a roster and to hand-pick with expansion drafts. And guys like Chucky Lozano, like, they have really good players. Again, Jasper Lafelson that goes there. You get different profiles that aggressive fullbacks, maybe ball-playing fullbacks. They've designed that team to play in the coach's vision and the club's vision. So it's a good team. That's what I would say. It's expansion teams. St. Louis last year made a lot of noise, right? Because you get a hungry roster that's hand-selected and that can deliver the vision. So, yeah, they're going to win a lot of games this year, I think. And they came into our building with a lot of confidence, and we knew we were going to be in for a good game, and we put them in a good game. So I think it was two good teams going at it, and we win this one. We'll see what happens next time, but we have a lot of respect for them, and we were up for the challenge.
In the same vein, it's always fun with expansion teams as they're trying to, make their way into the league, find their spot. Just given how this game went, how chippy it got at times, small sample size, obviously, but does this feel like it can, grow into a rivalry, this matchup?
I think so. I mean, listen, it's the way that game started and finished, and energy, and two, I'd say, contrasting styles. They're really built for possession, and they can play strong in transition, and we're looking to play against teams that want to test our press, and they won the test a lot of times. They beat our press, and it's a fun challenge. We nicked a few. I think we get the penalty from a moment when Yappy or one of the guys wins the ball. But this is a fun challenge when it's a little bit of contrasting styles. And listen, I saw a lot of their fans in the building. Give them a lot of credit that they made the trip, and that could be interesting. Maybe our fans make the trip when we go there.
Chris, Sam Vines with his first start off of a sub last week and looked like the player who Rapids fans really loved and then said goodbye to in 2021. Your thoughts on his performance, and where's he at fitness-wise as he goes back to hopefully being 90 minutes fit? Yeah,
it was good to have him back into the team. He's been, he's on the sideline for a lot of months, and then not how he envisioned the start of 25 here. But he's been working hard on all parts of his game, studying film and looking at video, where areas where he wants to be better. His plan, it's not our plan for him, it's our plan, but he's a big part of it. And you saw a lot of that tonight, where he can be an attacking fullback, but aggressive defensively. I thought he was solid on the night. And, I think the best is still yet to come for him as he gets fitter and fitter. He's a pretty fit kid naturally, but I thought tonight was a strong performance in all ways from him.